Hey, what is up, everybody? It is Dirty and
DZAN, what is up, people? It is Wednesday, September 21st, but for you, Friday the 23rd. Dirty D, it has been a while. We've had some fight cards. Football is upon us. Nate Diaz is gone from the UFC. How the hell are you doing, my brother?
I need the fucking sad emoji here, the crying.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't even want the emoji. I want the GIF because I want the fucking tears popping.
yeah. Flowing
Yes.
out.
Yeah,
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's been a minute since we've been back together. Dirty right now, as we speak, is going through a storm. So
I
we don't know how long.
It just started thundering again. And if anybody knows this channel at all, or my channel, they'll know that I have internet problems when it's storming outside. So
Yep.
We're kind of keeping our fingers crossed here.
But here we go, man. Dirty D, I do not want to talk about football week one. I can talk week two, but why don't you take it? Why don't you take it over? Why don't you take it over, please? Please.
Make it stop.
Just don't look at me for the first 10 minutes.
Actually, first of all, I gotta send a debt of gratitude to your Cowboys. I thank you very much.
Yes,
for that.
Yes. You're welcome.
So today I awoke to find out that the Cleveland Browns, after week two, had a players only meeting.
Wow, already coming to Jesus meeting.
Yeah. And the thing is I was watching Pat McAfee earlier, and he was talking about this, and him and AJ Hawk, and they had Rod Woodson on and some other people, Darius Butler, and they're all talking about how after week two, there's nothing potentially positive about this. You should never have a players meeting after week two.
Week two, yeah.
That's a bad. And what a couple of people said that it's most likely way worse than we understand, because for a week two players only meeting, it means things are getting really bad. That I found that interesting. The Steelers play the Browns last night. I don't know the score yet. Actually, the Browns won 20-17. But so that's going on, and there's just so much happening in the NFL right now. But before I get any further into that, I'm going to leave the NFL briefly to talk about the Detroit Red Wings.
Oh, okay.
So I got an opportunity to watch the Prospects tournament last weekend, and it is so exciting. They have two guys. One guy's 6'6" and the other one's 6'8". The 6'6" guy is a defenseman, and the 6'8" guy is a forward, which sounds ass backwards. And the guy that's 6'8", now I was watching him very intently, and I don't think he'll make the team this year. He's got to work on his skating a little bit, but silky hands, silky, smooth hands. Man, he's got some mittens. I love what he does with the puck. So exciting. But Simon Edvinsson, and by the way, the other guy is Selmer Oder.
Pronounce it, Dirty. Pronounce
Soderblom. Soderblom. So here's the thing, though. It's spelled Blom. Soderblom.
Okay.
But it's kind of pronounced Soderblom. Not quite bloom.
Soderblom.
But not. Yeah.
Soderblom.
That's exactly how it's pronounced.
It's probably like an umlaut.
But nobody's going to ever say it that way. Swedish.
Is he German? Swedish.
But he's got the two dots.
Yeah, that's an umlaut. Yeah. So
right.
Au. Yeah.
Very good.
You learn something new every day.
I'm glad he came along.
Anyways,
I'm so glad you came along.
I couldn't speak after that.
I fucking
immediately ruined my credibility there.
And then Simon Edvinsson, the defenseman that I was referring to, I got a strong suspicion he's going to make the team, and he's special. He's so special. And with all of the new free agents coming in. And the reason I'm bringing all this up is because this very weekend, the preseason of the NHL starts.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready. Dirty.
Yeah.
Woo! Dirty's going to start.
I am very, very excited about that. So,
it is a very short off season, I feel like, for the NHL.
It did seem to be extra short.
Is it 3 months?
Yeah, it's about it ends in June.
That's very short.
Yeah, mid-June is where the
how many games are in the NHL? I feel like I know I've asked you this before.
82.
How many?
Yeah.
82. So same as basketball. Okay.
Right. Okay. Right. Exactly. It's the exact same format, even the playoffs, everything.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just a very exciting time to be a Red Wings fan because they have so much
rebuilding
talent.
Phase, man. Yeah. You're in the rebuild and you got a lot of great people.
We're kind of changing the balance in that rebuild right now. And that's why it's exciting.
Right.
So
you're starting to see the results, right? You're starting to see the results and it's exciting.
Finally.
Stevie, ladies and gentlemen.
He's the man. He is
Moneyballing it to the end, people. He can pinch a penny harder than Krusty Krab, let me tell you.
Well, he's in a contract talk right now with two players, Dylan Larkin, our captain, and Tyler Bertuzzi, our psychotic winger.
How do you feel about Larkin? He's staying, right?
He will stay. Dylan Larkin was born and raised in Detroit, Waterford, Michigan.
The name of the team, right? Like that's right?
He's the face of the franchise. He's not going anywhere. Stevie wouldn't let him go anywhere. Stevie certainly isn't going to let him walk for $750,000 a year. It's just not going to happen. So that'll get worked out. My concern a little bit more is about Tyler Bertuzzi.
Another big name.
It's another big name, and Bertuzzi is trying to get his payday at the exact same time that Dylan Larkin is trying to get his payday.
Oh, that's never good, though.
It's never good. That would be, for anybody in the football world, that would be like the equivalent of Dak and Zeke going for their contracts at the same time.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you how amazed I am at Tony Romo for giving up money from his own, take money from me so that we can afford this kid Dak, because he is the future of this franchise and he'll be a good backup. He didn't know he was going to break his shit and then it'd be over that season. But regardless, it was you know what I mean? That's what you do for the team. But it rarely works out that way.
Very rarely. Yeah. Most players aren't that team friendly.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But anyway, so that's the equivalent of that.
Yeah.
So it's a little unsettling to say the least. But I have faith in Stevie. I think he'll be able to get it done. That's my Stevie glass.
Look at that, ladies and gentlemen, a true fan.
That's right. So anyway, back to the NFL. This is a chaotic season.
How many
we're going into week 3?
How many fucking 1-1s are there? Isn't that crazy? I think there's only 3 or 4 that are 2-0. There's only 3 or 4.
Yeah. And then the teams that are 0-2 are teams that we did not expect to be 0-2.
Crazy, man. It's we called it. We're like
wacky.
We had a feeling it was going to be crazy season, and it's already fucking starting. But what a great time to be an NFL fan in general. I will say, I don't know about you guys. I know that you guys, because I'm a fan of America's team. Okay. So I don't usually have to put up with my team not being televised. Okay. But they haven't been doing so hot lately. Okay. Over the past couple of years. So they've been easing off on the televising of the Cowboys. So last week I was scrambling to find my boys because they were out of fucking market. NFL, get your shit together. I shouldn't have to fucking buy 4 different apps to watch an out of market game. It's bullshit. So all the other fans, I know how you feel, and hopefully I never have to feel it, because I felt like a fucking peasant. Okay. All right, back. That was my problems. I didn't get to see my boys actually fucking win. I got to see the most embarrassing first week in NFL history.
I got to see it.
I didn't get to see it. I saw the highlights, of course, but I didn't get to see the
shit.
actual game because it was out of market.
Well, I
so
pay,
upset.
I think it's $3,800 a year for the NFL ticket. So
No shit.
yeah,
No
yeah,
shit. Yeah.
yeah. Matter of fact, there were people. I'm glad you brought that up. Fuck you, NFL ticket.
Fuck the NFL.
Fuck the NFL ticket. These motherfuckers. I, I pay. I think it's $300 a month or $300 a year. I mean, or maybe it's more than that. I don't even know. My wife pays the bills. I don't know. But these motherfuckers, I missed the whole first half of the Steelers game. Actually, all games. Missed the whole first half, pretty much. We got to see the opening kickoff. I think we saw maybe 2 or 3 plays. Shit goes out, doesn't come back to the deep in the second half, or at least deep in the third quarter. And I went on Twitter and I started bitching at him, and I got a lot of likes on that one. So apparently it wasn't just a South Florida problem. So I'm going to go on a limb and say we're probably not going to get any kind of refunds here, but
now, and you're a DirecTV subscriber, right?
No, I'm not.
How the fuck do you have the NFL ticket?
Okay, so I can't tell you.
God damn it. This is what I'm saying.
I'll tell
NFL.
I'll tell you.
Fuck you, NFL, because you make it so hard for us to be fans of your fucking organizations. You know what I mean? Get your shit together.
You know what? No, fuck it. I'll tell you.
The Cowboys should always be televised. Okay.
Enough with your fucking Cowboys. But I'll tell everybody
tell me
how I did it. And the only reason I'll say it is because the only reason I didn't want to say it is because I didn't want to fuck it up for myself. But I just started thinking about this is the last year, I believe, for the NFL ticket. So it kind of doesn't matter at this point. So what happened was when we lived back north, we had DirecTV and I had the NFL ticket.
Right.
Then when we moved down here, we moved into an HOA condo. And in the HOA, you're not allowed to have any satellites or anything like that.
Okay.
So we explained that to DirecTV, and then DirecTV said, oh, okay, then we can give you, I forget what they call it, but there's a term that they use. And what it means is you have no ability whatsoever of getting DirecTV. There's no possible way you can get DirecTV. Once you've hit that threshold and you prove that, then they allow you to purchase the NFL ticket. You have to use the app. Obviously, you don't use it on TV. But
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so, and I did tell a couple other people about it, and they were able to do it as well. So, but you kind of have to be able to show that you have an HOA.
Yeah.
Or something.
That makes sense. That makes sense, because I'm like, there's no way to see, cause you got NFL Plus now, okay, but it's in market games. Right. If I want to, I'll just turn on the fucking TV, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not, and you can only see it on your phone.
Yeah, I was disappointed by that. Yeah,
it's so fucking stupid. And then if you only have Hulu, you can only see what's on this channel. You have to have Paramount Plus to see this one. You got to have Peacock to see this one. Fuck you, NFL.
Yeah.
Get your shit together. You know what I mean?
You forgot Amazon.
Well, oh yeah, Prime. You're right. And Prime, you get, was it Monday Night NFL? It's fucking ridiculous,
Thursday,
dude.
Yeah.
Thursday night.
But still, yeah, I mean,
it's so fucking ridiculous, man.
It's bullshit. Like, you have to have,
and then I shouldn't have to have a satellite in order to get your full service, in order to get the whole kit and caboodle. I shouldn't have to have a fucking satellite and live like a caveman. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Anyways, but yeah, week 2, it's pretty crazy. It's been a pretty crazy season.
It really has been an incredible start to the NFL season. I mean, I don't know if you've heard, but ESPN released the numbers for Monday Night Football, and it was the highest they'd ever been. And that is saying something, man.
Mm-hmm. That was the
something, because the NFL, if you watching this podcast outside of the country, you got to understand that American football dominates our lives.
Yeah. Yep.
It just does. And there's just no escaping it. You know, it just consumes you. And I know that, you know, say people in Europe, you know, they have their soccer or their football or whatever.
You just proved the point that football is it's like the most popular sport in the world, but we call it soccer to make room for our football, because our football is more important than the most popular sport in the entire world.
Exactly.
You just made that point. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It is so important to us. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And it, honestly, it does affect things like your mental well-being. I mean, it really does. I mean, you guys, I've said it before. I struggle with my mental health. I struggle greatly sometimes, and lately has been pretty bad. And quite frankly, once the NFL season started and hockey's around the corner, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
It doesn't take it away, but it helps a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah, man. It's going to be fun. It nevertheless, whether, our teams do good or not, there's a lot of good shakeups in the league. That Monday Night Football game, the Broncos and Seahawks, how great was it to see Russell Wilson, battling his ex-team and then losing the nail biter by 1 point. I mean, this is what football is. It's not just about my team versus your team, this team versus that team. You could watch any game and see the drama unfold, and
Jimmy G coming off the
amazing.
bench.
Yes, man.
All of those storylines, man.
Yes.
It's
crazy. The injuries, the how you overcome a deficiency in points, and just you see the story play out. The refs play their own story with how bad they call or how biased they are, or it's just it's fun, it's aggravating, it's exhilarating, it's some of the best time. Yeah, it's some of the best times to be a fan of this sport. Really is. Second best sport in the world. We're gonna get into the first, ladies and gentlemen, MMA. Now, I don't have much. We don't have much. Obviously, last week I filled in for us here on the channel. We spoke a little bit about Nate Diaz. Of course, I want to give Dirty his time in a minute. We're gonna take a short break, but when we bounce back, Dirty, I want you to talk to us about Nate's impact and his exit. All right.
That's good. Okay, sorry about that, guys. All right, we're back.
We gotta get the tissues. Get ready. D, please tell me, what does Nate Diaz mean to you and his impact?
Nate was a game changer for me watching the UFC. One of the first fights I ever saw was Jose Aldo and Conor McGregor. And I kind of, that's right when I started watching it consistently, like I do now.
Right.
And then it was it 2 fights after, or 3 fights. So anyway, it was Jose Aldo, then Conor, and then and all of the stuff that preceded that. I ended up, because I had Fight Pass right away. As soon as I started watching again, I got Fight Pass, paying pay-per-views and everything. And so I started going back and watching this Conor McGregor guy. So I'm like, man, I watched what he did to Dennis Seaver and all of the Mini Mendez, everything.
Yeah.
Marcus Brimage. And then when he fought Jose Aldo, though, the immediate thought was, nobody's going to be able to beat this guy. That's what I'm thinking in my head. There's just no way anybody can beat this guy. What he just did to the guy hasn't lost in 10 years.
Yep.
There's no way anybody could beat this. That's how naive I was.
Right.
And enter Nate Diaz. And then I saw the press conference. Now, and I'm talking about before that. And I'm waiting for Conor to just murk this guy in the press conference, and I'm waiting for him to buckle like everybody else did before him. Nate didn't buckle.
Nope.
Nate barked back, and I had so much respect. I was convinced he was getting knocked out in the first round. But I had so much respect for his trash talking and just his overall demeanor, the way he carried himself.
Playing touch button to park. Right. Come on.
Right. And then round 2 happened.
Yeah.
And I realized, number one, I got a lot to learn about UFC fights. And then also that this guy might be a tough guy.
Yeah.
He might be the real deal. And so that was the very beginning of my solid UFC journey. And it all boiled down to Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz. In the end, that's what it all boiled down to. And with Nate taking Conor to a new level, which he did.
Yeah.
That is when you go, okay, this guy's a fucking legend. And I better know everything about this guy. And so from that point on, I was watching everything he does. And it never stopped. And it never will. That's what Nate's to be. Yep. What about you?
The same, man. The same. I remember knowing about Nate after I first started watching The Ultimate Fighter 10, the heavyweights, and seeing clips of Nate in his season getting in an argument with the fighter that had came over to the house.
So glad you brought that up. Thank you.
And that was my first time seeing Nate, was on a way, later season, like 3 years later, but a clip of him, and I'm like, whoa. And then when I started to really start watching fight nights, as they started popping up on FS1 and start showing up on Spike TV here and there, and man, this motherfucker, seeing just this highlight of this while he's trying, like, I'm just like, wow, man, what a G. Can I
interrupt you just 1 second? Because I want to point out that part, the triangle choke, thing. And that, I think, may have been the most gangster moment in UFC history.
Yes.
And it was all Nate.
Yep.
Nate.
And before that was his brother laying down with Anderson Silva.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's no other gangsters in there. You know what I mean? Besides, come on.
Like that.
Not like that.
Not like that.
No, not like
that. That is as gangster as it gets. And but the thing that I take away from that, and that was the point I really wanted to hammer home, is it had nothing to do with the UFC. That's what I was saying about it was all Nate.
Him, yes.
He was the promoter here in this situation, and
and he was a fucking needle mover. You know what I mean?
Sir.
And
still is.
And I can't wait to see. I wish him luck. I'm going to buy his pay-per-view with Jake Paul when it inevitably happens. Absolutely. I don't know what he's going to do other than that, but I do see an inevitable return in the UFC where he's going to be making 3 times more to have the trilogy with Conor. And if he doesn't get the trilogy with Conor, guess what? Hamza in the next couple years is going to bounce back. Obviously from this, they're going to forget all about this. He's going to be a gigantic name. He may be a champion. Who knows? The fight that never happened. Right. Now Nate Diaz comes back. There are options for Nathan Diaz, and I'm so fucking happy for him. He broke the mold.
Yes, he did. That's a great way of putting it. Even if they just gave him a 1-fight contract, that's all that you got to do.
Yep, that's all you got to do.
Fight Conor.
Yep.
Open up the checkbook to him and just go for it, man. I mean, because I don't care how much he pays Nate, they're still going to make a boatload of money.
Oh yeah, easy, man, easy. So it's I wish him the best. I wish him luck. It's gonna be nice to see what he does next. Real Fight Inc. I don't see it. I mean, it's not going to be very big. If you don't know, that's his fight promotion now.
He's now a promoter. I'm sorry.
Real Fight Inc. But the thing is that he's going to be the main fighter. He's going to be the main fighter under his own promotion. Mm-hmm. The trick is to be the promoter and the name, get all the money. You know what I mean? It's not going to be as easy as he thinks. I think he's going to have a very tough time.
Jorge struggling already.
To be honest, Jorge had arguably a bigger name at the time, just fresh off of beating Nate, being the BMF, and getting this surge of new fans that he couldn't push to his new promotion.
Right.
So much so that it got fully moved now to Fight Pass. And that's really what's going to be happening. Listen, Dana's going to be taking care of these guys. And if you happen to see Real Fight Inc. on Fight Pass, don't be surprised, because although he hates the UFC, he has a really good relationship with Dana White.
He does. And I'm sure you noticed this, but what I thought was genius about Nate's approach to the pre and post fight comments that he made, he didn't hesitate to dunk on the UFC.
Right.
But at the same time, he was always being very careful not to completely sever his relationship with Dana.
Absolutely. Very smart. Yeah.
He was genius about how he navigated through all of that, because I think he realizes, okay, kind of still need this motherfucker.
Yeah. Just in case you need that safety net. Yeah.
Right.
Dana White is a good fucking friend to have, because
he sure is.
Although, however people try to paint Dana in whatever light you want to, he takes care of the people. Fair. Yeah, it is. But he takes care of the people that, that have good relation with him. And that's just it at the end of the day. That's just who he is. So
Dana White privilege, baby.
Yeah, you got to get that back. You know what I mean? Listen, one last thing I will say, and I made this point last week, is that Nate Diaz did something again. What I mean by breaking the mold and shit is anytime a fighter with any kind of with any kind of name gets shifted out of the UFC, it's stripped of the power of that name, because you leave on a loss, you leave with your brand downgraded, okay, so that you cannot get a very good future better than what you had before. It's what they do. It's business. They try to do it to Nate, and he beat all the odds, and he didn't end up fighting Hamzat. He ended up fighting Tony. He ended up winning.
It worked out.
2 minutes could not have worked out better seconds. And he exited out the best way possible. So
that could not have gone any better for him.
Absolutely. So that was it, man. That was it. Now let's talk about this week. We had a really good fight back and forth. Corey Sandhagen, Song Yadong. Song Yadong got a fucking canyon-sized slice in his head. Fight got called off. I saw Song winning. A lot of people saw it the other way as well. It was a good back and forth. But at the end of the day, Aspen Ladd can't make weight, and she needs to fucking leave. That's the whole point, is that Aspen Ladd can't fucking make weight and needs to fucking leave. She's had 4 missed weights now, I believe. Is it? I mean, dude, how do you have more missed weights than wins in the UFC? Come on. And why is the UFC still keeping her around?
But
she needs to go up to 145.
What I was thankful for is that it happened, because it literally happened a week removed from Khamzat missing weight
and him still being able to fight.
Right.
Do.
Speak of Dana White privilege.
Really fucking funny that you brought that up. Yeah. Because people that aren't real fans of the UFC or MMA think that it's a complete orchestration, that the UFC put all of this plans together and made Khamzat miss weight and all this other shit. And it just happened to work out that way. Trust me. They don't want to fucking rewrite the entire show 48 hours before it has to go live.
It was a pay-per-view.
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Let's go. Of course. And they're going to make that fucking happen, dude. They're going to make it happen. But this is a fight night. You know what I mean? And this is her fucking 4th time missing weight. Like, you're done at this point. And she is notoriously known for having really bad weight cuts. We've seen her faint on the scale before. The doctors are not going to say, okay,
do you remember the
you
very
can do a
last
catch
time?
weight. Exactly. She fucking... She literally fell straight down like a sack of potatoes, dude.
Yeah.
It's fucking scary. She needs to get a nutritionist, and she needs to get a nutritionist and get in shape to where she can stay healthy at that weight, or fucking move up to 145 permanently and just do it. We're starting to see a couple more contenders in that division. Just fucking move up, dude. Just move up.
Yeah. And I think there's this misconception, and listen, neither one of us are fighters.
Right.
Neither one of us have ever trained to fight or anything like that. So, we're kind of talking out of our ass a little bit. However,
a lot of it, actually.
A lot of it, but we'll continue to do so. That
is also true.
Seriously, though, I think there's a serious misconception amongst fighters that the lower you can fight at, the better off you are. The lower weight that you can fight at, the better off you are. And that is so untrue.
Mm-hmm.
We watched, I don't know if you remember this, but about 5-6 years ago, Donald Cerrone, up until that point, was always fighting at 155.
Yep.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
He moved to fucking welterweight, and he's knocking motherfuckers out left and right.
Mm-hmm.
That has happened so many times throughout history. That is why it's an educated guess. I'm not saying that, again, that's why I prefaced it. We've never trained to fight. We're not nutritionists or anything like that. However, you just got to pay attention to watch what's happening in the UFC.
Right.
And we've seen this so many times where a fighter, they cut and they cut and they cut and they cut. And then by the time the fight starts, they're way weaker than they should be.
TJ
Dillashaw.
Cody
Garbrandt.
Come on, man.
And I can tell you right now, there's no doubt in my mind that by the end of his career, Sean O'Malley will be fighting at least 155.
Oh, yeah. For sure. For sure. Yeah.
It's going to happen. But
it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Conor started at 145, guys. Mm-hmm. And he's going to be making a permanent move to 170. It happens. This is what happens. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yep. Jose Aldo. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. John Jones, he tore up light middleweight. However, John Jones is going to be that outlier that I believe that it didn't benefit him.
So you're going to think that his move up is going to be not beneficial to him. You think he's going to be losing?
I don't think he's.
You think Stipe is going to beat him? How dare you?
I don't know, but But let me say this: I think that he was the greatest. At the very least, he was the greatest light middleweight of all time.
Yeah.
At the very least. Mm. So how do you get better in that situation?
Moving up. Right.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. So
we'll see. And speaking of greats, Jose Aldo. Jeez, this is the last thing on the docket, people. Jose Aldo retired with one fight left in his UFC contract. I don't know if this means that he's going to go box, maybe, or if this is really it. I don't know, because
I don't think he can still, because
with one fight left in his contract, the he retired and then he was able to get out of that contract with one fight left, and he was able to fully get out. Now he's out of that contract, retired.
You're sure about that?
Yes. So he can't fight back in MMA because he's contracted to UFC for one more fight. But since he's not under contract with them, he can still box.
That would be a first.
He can still box.
They've never done that before. That's
Conor McGregor. They've done that before, where they've allowed that one off.
Yeah, but that was he was still in a contract though.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. So this is what I understand. He had one fight left, and he retired from MMA, and he was able to be released from his contract because he retired from MMA. Wow. So this means that if he ever released his comeback for MMA, it's in the UFC for one fight. Do you see what I mean?
If anybody deserves that kind of treatment, it's Jose.
It's Jose Aldo. Yeah.
I'll be honest,
I don't know if this
I'm a
means
little
that he's
skeptical.
Go out. Right. Because he was the number 6 bantamweight in the world. Maybe this is really it. And he's just like, no, I'm like really done. Right. And this is it, because I can't see that he would take other opportunities right now being that he was still in the mix in this promotion.
Didn't he want to play soccer?
You're right. Yeah, he did. He did want to do that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Within the next 3 to 4 months, I think is going to really start telling.
Football.
If we start, football. If we start hearing any news about Jose within the next 3 or 4 months, maybe, but for right now, he's retired, done. It's so fucking heartbreaking.
It is. Yeah. Well, I mean, you and I both absolutely adore Jose Aldo.
Yeah. He's still fun to watch to this day. That's what's so heartbreaking. It's not like he lost his groove and we're all accepting of it. I don't accept it. I don't. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? He still had more in the tank.
And
he's still young. That's what's so fucking crazy.
Yeah, and that's where I was gonna go next is we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll
right.
See.
You're right.
We've seen that before too.
You're right. That's all I had for MMA, people.
Matter of fact, we've seen that from your boy Connor, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Hang on. Before we go, I got to show you guys.
Are you going to show?
I'm going to show a picture.
Is it of Connor?
Yeah, you see.
Is he doing this?
Yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah. No. Oh shit! Where did he go? Where is it? I sent it to you. Damn it! You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. I should have probably just Brendan Shaw. Brendan Shaw, where you at?
Oh my god.
Oh shit. All right, guys.
Thank you so much.
Be the end of us here. Maybe forever on YouTube for that one. Now we'll hopefully be back next week. That's the plan, and may have some news for you guys. Maybe we'll see. What's going on over there?
Oh shit! What's happening here, people? All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.